So, hey guys, today we have arranged this talk about summer of Bitcoin. Um, we have three presenters today, and like a lot of you may have heard about Bitcoin, which was like the first major decentralized peer-to-peer money, and started created by somebody called Satoshi Nakamoto, which was we don't know who that person is. So yeah, so today we learn about what Summer of Bitcoin is, which was this is like a program, summer program, which started last year by certain teams who contribute to the core Bitcoin protocol and also surrounding technologies. Um, our first presenter today is Sandipan. I think he's presenting his screen and he can start.
Well, thank you so much, Pradyuman. So, hey everyone, I'm Sandipan. I am in my senior year pursuing computer science engineering. I am already a Summer of Bitcoin graduate 2021. Apart from staying safe from the coronavirus, I do engineering work at Galloy, which is a Bitcoin banking startup where we think about the Lightning Network, which is a layer 2 network on top of Bitcoin as a regular day to day transaction network, and we use the base layer Bitcoin for settlements. We recently had a pilot project called Bitcoin Beach running in El Salvador. You might have heard about this name earlier because El Salvador, some months back, kind of adopted Bitcoin as its legal tender. So, just like we use rupees here in India, in El Salvador, you can literally buy a pack of Lay's or Pepsi for some amount of Bitcoin. So, kind of my journey. So, back in 2019, when I was a sophomore, I heard about Solidity, which so I was super psyched to realize that blockchain is just my code. Well, is blockchain just my code? How does the code create decentralization? Why can't someone cheat? If the same program gets executed in multiple computers, isn't that just a waste of resources? I kind of quickly realized that I did not understand properly about the distributed consensus for any blockchain. And probably I'm not the only one who suffered from this. Many who switched to Bitcoin kind of have a similar experience, but I can tell that things are changing, especially with tools like BDK and LDK. In 2020, as we all know, Bitcoin prices skyrocketed and it was gaining mass popularity. This was when I think a lot of people truly started fidgeting around with Bitcoin. I did too. I understood the proof of work algorithm then and how it creates the storehouse of value. And around April 2021, I was scrolling on LinkedIn in an afternoon when I found out about Summer of Bitcoin and I applied to it. Luckily, I got selected after passing the code challenge and a round of interview. Uh, by the way, this year there is no single code challenge. The application is a little bit more spread out. We will talk about it a little bit later. So, Summer of Bitcoin was truly a life changing experience for me. I met so many amazing mentors and super talented people there. We learned about Bitcoin from protocol layer to applications built on top of it. Uh, a lot of us made our first open source contribution there, and we learned about Git and GitHub. So it was very beginner friendly. I also landed a job at a Bitcoin based startup called Galai with this SOB experience that I had and a referral from Adam Jonas. If you get in, you will know who Adam is. So, why does everyone shout about Bitcoin? What's in it that El Salvador declared Bitcoin as mandatory legal tender aside US dollars? So, let's find out. At its very heart, in the economy that we live in, money is kind of flawed. Well, the money that we use, the cash money. So let's talk basics. Why would money be flawed, right? In the barter system, a rice farmer would sell rice and buy vegetables. But this works only if the other person who sells vegetables need rice. What if he needs sugar or something else, right? In such a case, the rice farmer would have to first exchange their rice with sugar and then sell that sugar for vegetables. To overcome this problem, the indirect barter system came into existence, where for the first time, gold was used kind of like the smallest common denominator. Gold was used for in the exact same fashion as we use dollars and rupees today as a medium of exchange. But interestingly, gold as a resource has a lot of value because it's scarce, right? But is paper scarce? The paper money that we use. So money should not be an abstract unit of claim with no innate value in itself. And this is what keeps happening with rupees, dollars, and all the monetary notes every now and then. Every country since 1976 has come off of the gold standard, wherein countries agreed to convert paper money into a fixed amount of gold before circulating that money around. Since this is now gone, governments technically, under some legal jargon, has the right to print money at will. Governments thereby can also inflate at will in the name of circulating more money into the economy, which is bad. And foundational problems like these created massive inflation in 2008, which fortunately gave rise to Bitcoin. So from 2008 to now, Bitcoin has continued having the highest market capitalization, and most people have trusted Bitcoin. That's why they have kept their money in Bitcoin among all other cryptocurrencies. Ethereum comes in a strong second position. Well, so now that we know about the problems with conventional currency, let's get to know how Bitcoin solves these issues. So, verifying that someone is spending the money that they own themselves is not really that difficult and can be solved by simple public key cryptography mechanisms. It's the same technology that keeps our WhatsApp chats end to end encrypted. The more important problem over here is that of double spending. Let's explain what it is. So let's say Alice has rupees 100 and she creates two transactions using that same rupees 100 note, one to Bob and the other one to Charlie. Since both the transactions use the same rupees 100 as the input, either one of them should be accepted and the other one should be rejected because somebody cannot double spend their coins. So this is why the double spending term. The solution to this is to accept that any one of these transactions should be valid and discard the other one. And to do that, you will have to create a distributed consensus with regards to the history of transactions that took place. If everyone, like everyone in the entire world, could agree that Alice spent their coins to Charlie first, then the transaction to Bob would be kind of invalidated because they are trying to double spend. So the principal problem over here is how do you create this distributed consensus? How do you trust that Alice to Charlie is a transaction that happened before Alice to Bob? The problem over here is how do we establish this specific distributed trust? And that's where Bitcoin shines with its glorious proof of work algorithm. In super short and simple terms, Bitcoin's proof of work algorithm has all the computers in the Bitcoin network race to solve a difficult cryptographic problem with random winners occurring every 10 minutes on average. The winner produces a block that has the solution to this cryptographic problem that everyone was kind of trying to solve, and anybody could verify that this is a legitimate solution to that problem. And the block which this random winner produced contains a complete list of transactions, one after the another. And this history of transactions will be agreed upon in the entire network. The blockchain with the most number of blocks is the most trusted because it has to spend the most amount of work to create the maximum number of blocks. So, in case somebody would try to double spend their coins, they would have to produce and keep up with generating this latest block so that it is most trusted in the network and the network's consensus, which is kind of practically impossible unless you have 51% control over the more than 51% control over the global hash rate. That's a 51% attack, right? In Satoshi's own words, we don't have to worry about a chain of custody of communication. It doesn't matter who tells you a longest chain, the proof of work speaks for itself. So now that I hope you're excited about Bitcoin, here's the best program in the world right now to get your hands dirty with Bitcoin. Summer of Bitcoin. So at Summer of Bitcoin, you will not just learn about Bitcoin, you will get to meet the top minds and world-class mentors who contribute to Bitcoin, like really the Bitcoin Core project and so many other good projects that are application layer both and also the protocol layer. You'll learn so much about open source and contribute to the repository that you think is making sense to you. And the best part, you will get to earn some Bitcoins as well. So first you apply to Bitcoin. The complete application process will be explained in detail shortly by Aditya, I guess, in a little while. So once you get through, you will get resources like the chain code seminars, some excellent books, and contact to mentors. You will get to contribute to Bitcoin open source projects, and students who will perform exceptionally well will be referred to really good Bitcoin companies and startups. This year, there are roughly two program tracks. One is for the developers and one is for the designers. Developers is for the people who are familiar with coding and who do competitive coding in general. And the design track is for people more into UI UX. And here are the things that you will receive if you do Summer of Bitcoin. You will get to learn in depth about the complete Bitcoin protocol. You will talk with super talented mentors doing top of the line Bitcoin projects, and you will get personalized guidance into contributing those projects. Of course, for the work that you will be doing, you will get to back some Bitcoins, which amount to $3,000 now in fiat. But most importantly, if you perform good enough, you will get return offers to the Summer of Bitcoin program for the next year, like I did, Aditya did, Pradyuman also did, and also get referred into Bitcoin companies and startups. So do apply. I'm dropping this link in chat. Aditya will talk about the application process in detail in shortly. And that's it from my side. That's an extremely brief overview of Bitcoin. If you want to talk about Bitcoin and startups, hit me up. I am at Sandipandev everywhere. Hope I have been able to convince you somewhat that Bitcoin is going to be a thing. If you own any Bitcoin, don't forget to hold on for dear life. And yeah, thank you for being such a great audience. Signing off.
So, hey Sandipan, that was like a very insightful presentation. Next on we have Aditya.
So I'll start, I guess. All right. So first of all, hi guys. I am Aditya Sharma. I'm a third year BTech Metallurgical Engineering student from IIT BHU. Currently, I'm interning at a company called Blockstream, wherein I'm working on the layer 2 solution of the Bitcoin protocol, which is called the Lightning Network. Coming to my journey in this field, so before summer of Bitcoin 21, I was just a competitive programming and web development guy. I had very little or no knowledge about blockchain or cryptocurrencies in general. So I got this mail from my institute that there's this program, Summer of Bitcoin. So I applied in it. I got through. Luckily, I got through. And then they taught us about the Bitcoin protocol, the Lightning Network, and all the basic things that we are supposed to know in the initial 2 weeks. And then they paired us to the mentors. So I worked on Lightning Network protocol specification called the Bolt 12. So as we know, there's this protocol called HTTP for the internet. Similarly, we have a Lightning Network, the monetary network of the Bitcoin. So Bolt 12 is the specification of it, and mine implementation was the second implementation after its founder. After the summer of Bitcoin 22, I was still 21. I was still active in the community. I was searching for projects to work on, and I found this project called Spark Wallet, which is funded by Blockstream, and I sent the contributor message that I want to work on it, and then Blockstream hired me as an intern to work on this. And right now I'm working on Spark Wallet, which is sort of in very loose language GPay for the Lightning Network. So you can scan QR code and pay through this application. Now, coming to the main part, the summer of Bitcoin 2022, which is in the coming summers, let's talk about this. So, first of all, let me tell you the eligibility. So, everyone and anyone is eligible to apply for this program. In fact, last year, I remember one student was working in Samsung and he was also doing this program. So, there's no restriction for eligibility. Now let's come to the application period. So the timeline is the application period has just started. The timeline is from 1st January to 15th March. But I would like to, it's my personal opinion that you should apply as soon as possible because students will be shortlisted in batches. So the earlier you apply, the more chances you have to get through the first round, which will be going to be held on interview bit. It will test your basic data structures and algorithm skills. After that, you will be added to a Discord server wherein you will be provided with learning resources. Like there's a book I would like to suggest if you are interested. It's called The Grokking Bitcoin. It teaches about Bitcoin in a very from a very basic perspective. So you can read about Bitcoin from that. And then in the Discord, and then they'll publish ideas, project ideas, and then students will have to prepare a project proposal similar to what we do in GSOC. One more thing, you can skip the first screening process if you have exceptional credential on Codeforces. To be specific, more than 1600, or if you are an open source contributor in GSOC. After that, you will have to submit project proposals till 15th of March, and then there'll be this project proposal period, and they'll announce the result on 5th of April, and the program will kickstart from May 9th. So the program will go on in two phases. From 9th of May to 23rd of May, it will be onboarding, and you will be taught about Bitcoin and Lightning Network. From books and various lightning seminars. You can check them out at a website called Chain Code Seminars if you're interested. And then from 23rd May to 22nd August, you will be working with your mentors on your respective project. After completing the project, they will announce the result on 29th August. And after completing the project successfully, you will get $3,000 worth of Bitcoin. Now let's come to the preparation part. I would say generally you would need DSA knowledge for the first round, and then for the second round, try to make full use of the Discord server. Try to ask more questions. Uh, Try to make the proposal as robust as you can, and then you'll be selected. Thank you.
Thank you, Aditya. That was, I think, all of you guys understand how now how to apply to this sum of Bitcoin thing, how to prepare. Now we have our own Pradyuman. He also was a SRP participant this year, and I think he's also a student mentor for 2022. Pradyuman could speak a few years.
Hello. I'm audible, I hope.
Yeah. Yes.
So, hey guys, this is Pradyuman from like chemical third year. So, uh, let me share you first like why I shifted into this field and like why I'm continuing in this field. Like, so I was, as like Aditya said, he was a like competitive programming and a web development guy. So I explored many things. Like I did Android development, web development, then I did competitive programming, ethical hacking. But after doing all these things, like apart from ethical hacking and competitive programming, nothing is like fascinating. So you can't see your growth in any other field like this. So I applied for summer of Bitcoin. Like the last year, it was based on competitive programming. So we cleared the first round, and now we have like four different round afterwards. So like I cleared all those, and when then like I got added to the Discord server, and uh, there were like four people from the IIT Roorkee last year participated, so I was one of them. So the best part of the program is you get to know interact with a lot of minded people. uh, Even if you are in a good college IIT, the exposure you get at this program is like beyond this world. You can't explain. You get to know super cool people like Amiti Uttarwar, Dhruv. You get to know like some of the core contributors like and other project maintainers like Matthew Zipkin. He was my mentor. So one thing I realized that in this program is when you start contributing to Bitcoin, it doesn't look like it is an another people's project. It started to look like it's your own project. So like that's the thing. I talk with all these people. We have like weekly meetings. Last year we discuss few things, we discuss ideas, we discuss algorithms on Bitcoins, like we discuss codes on Bitcoin. So that was the thing. But this thing like taught me one thing, like uh, one thing about the decentralization, like uh, this is the revolution. Like uh, if you want to like you guys all know like about the centralized finance like banking, all this thing. But later on the future, decentralized finance will like take over the centralized finance. Okay, so this is the time to like get your hand dirty on this decentralized finance thing, and this is the best program to get into the field. There are, I think there is no program in the ecosystem like which lets you interact with the Bitcoin community, gets your hand dirty on Bitcoin. Like you can know tons of Bitcoin maintainers. You can share ideas with them. Like you can ping them anytime you want. So that's the best thing about this program. You get to interact with a lot of people with great minds. After the program, like I started exploring the Web3 and like Ethereum ecosystem. So I started with DeFi, NFT, this thing. So then I got into the Instadap, like which is a DeFi protocol. So from last past 4 months, I have been working as a blockchain dev at Instadap. But one thing which is which you should keep in mind is that every chain is nearly similar to Bitcoin. Either you work at Bitcoin or not, but the things that you learned at Summer of Bitcoin was you didn't get to learn anywhere else. Last year we had Kale Rosenman with us, like we had full seminars. Like you can find the seminars on YouTube also. Like we had weekly lectures. That's the thing. You can't find this kind of exposure anywhere else. And uh, this thing, if you start learning from these things, then it will automatically benefit you in the future. Either way, if you want to go into this field, they have referrals. Either you don't want to go into another field, like I switched into the Web3 field. So yeah, uh, overall I think that uh, 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 this program will robust your overall development. There are also some open source program like GSOC which are similar to this program, but I don't think GSOC has blockchain based project, because blockchain is one of the revolutionary field and like the most techy field, like latest techy field. So I think like applying to this program will like make you an overall better developer, and it will start your journey. Like it will be the first phase into the blockchain and Web3 ecosystem. Like before coming to Summer of Bitcoin, I didn't knew about like anything about Bitcoin. I was like preparing, like I was doing competitive programming for like having a summer intern, because at 3-1 the summer internship started, like companies came to campus. But after doing this program I thought that after doing this program I wanted to go into this field, but there was no blockchain based company came into our campus. So we I got like certain opportunity from Summer of Bitcoin people. I got certain opportunity from other people, like I participated in them. People contacted me. So that's the thing. Like if you wanted to go into this field, this is the best opportunity in the market. So like it is the time to grab this opportunity.
So I think in order to apply to Summer of Bitcoin, in order to at least get through the screening round, you would need some background in data structure and algorithms, because that is the way the screening procedure is this time. But as a complete fresher, I would suggest you to at least get the computer science basics right, the DSA things, and start doing some sort of competitive programming approach. And only when your computer science basics are clear, you would be able to contribute and like if you open Bitcoin Core's code base, it is written in C, and you will find that it's super huge, and there won't be a lot of people who actually know all the parts of the code base. Probably very few. Andrew Chow and like I can name 2 to 3 people, but I don't think a lot of people understand the entirety of the code base, and that is why you need to have some sort of a programming background. So that's step one. And step two will be applying to Summer of Bitcoin.
So we have to apply for CP in C language, or we can choose any other language like C++ or maybe Java.
Yeah, the thing with the summer of Bitcoin is it's not language specific. If you know Python, there is an implementation of Bitcoin in Python. If you know JavaScript, there is an implementation of Bitcoin in JavaScript. Even if you know Rust, there is an implementation. So the language isn't a problem. The main thing is how eager you are to learn these things. So the first thing will be on interview bit. The first round will be as much as the languages interview bit support, that those language will be there, so you don't have to worry about language.
The interview process will be held after 15th March, after the application time will be over, I guess.
No,
No,
No.
there
uh,
won't be any interview this time. They had it the last year in our time, but we'll have project proposal, and then they'll review the projects, and they'll announce the results on 5th April, as far as I know. So basically, once you clear the interview bit round, you will be added on a Discord server, and they'll provide you material to read, and they'll publish ideas. So you'll read the material, and then you'll read the project ideas, and then you will prepare a proposal. You'll get time for that till 15th March. You have time to prepare the proposal.
in
Application period is from, yeah, 1st January to 15th March, but try to I would say fill it as soon as possible, because I don't know, they won't take more than around 150 students. So you'll have more chances if you apply as early as possible. And don't try to think that you'll have to know about blockchain and all of this before. If you know basic DSA in one language, whatever language you're comfortable in, give the test, and if you're good, you'll go through this round. Doesn't matter.
Any email ID?
It doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter.
Okay, okay.
Yeah.
I think Dhruv
Actually, I
was.
got this link and I applied, but I didn't mention
Mhm.
any of my much of my these programming things. So should I apply again? Means I could add some of you. I thought that I just apply and see what would happen.
I mean, you can, but if you're they won't care about your college or anything of that sort. But if you have more than 1600 rating on code forces, or if you're a GSOC, you can apply with that. So you can skip the first round, the interview
Okay,
bit
okay.
round.
And what if I applying as a simple sort of guy? So then I have to go through the first round.
Yeah, and it won't matter. We in the first cohort we had students from uh, all the way from tier first colleges to tier 3 colleges. They won't care about your e- engineering stream or your college. For summer of Bitcoin, you don't need to know about blockchain and all of these things before applying. They'll tackle this. They have 2 to 3 weeks of period to teach you about these things, and you'll learn along the way. You just need DSA and basic programming concepts. The whole purpose of summer of Bitcoin is to teach Indian developers and engineer that this is a technology, because there is not much work right now in India for this. So they are trying to bring developers into this ecosystem, and they'll if you work exceptionally well, you'll get job referrals in various companies that pay equally well uh, of what we get in our on-campus recruitments.
So on
So
interview bit, question won't be algorithmic. They will be testing your aptitude. So there won't be any like strong algorithmic question that got asked, that will be asked in interview bit. The questions will be testing your aptitude and this kind of stuff, but there won't be any like core algorithmic question.
From whatever I know, they'll provide a assignment to the designer guys, and then they'll submit the portfolio for that, and then they'll select from those portfolios.
सर लाइक वी नीड लाइक हमारे पास पहले से पोर्टफोलियो होना चाहिए या फिर लाइक उन्हीं के वर्क
No,
से
no,
ही वो करेंगे?
they'll give you an assignment. वो assignment देंगे आप लोगों को.
तो
But
I guess
yeah,
mail
किस पे
आएगा.
होगा वो
if you
मेनली
have a
लाइक?
portfolio, that's a plus. Like if you have a good portfolio.
I think you have to have a portfolio when applying on
सो लाइक
the best
मेनली वो
design.
यूआई यूएक्स से रिलेटेड होगा डिजाइनिंग का?
हाँ, yes.
Yeah, I guess they are more lean towards UX, as far as I know. Yeah.
ओके.
I mean, just be honest and just tell why are you excited about Bitcoin.
Yeah. Even if you're not, just tell them you're excited.
Okay.
You should be if you're applying to the program, but then yeah, it's not. I don't. As far as I know, it won't make any difference to your selection. It
They
depends
expect,
on your pro.
yeah,
Go ahead.
Aditya.
So
So they,
it depends on project to project. Uh, but generally, the initial 2 weeks will be hectic because in our time they had this classes thing. So we had classes when this a computer scientist called Carly Rosenbaum came and taught us about Bitcoin and all of those things. So the initial 2 weeks would be equally hectic for all the people. But then it depends on your project. If the project is not very hectic, then it will be chilled out and yeah.
I believe open source contribution in general is a little bit chilled out. You would
Yeah.
get to hang out with your mentors more, and if you have any problems or questions, you will reach out, right?
yeah,
True.
and
So
Yeah.
also like they expect the time would be like 30 hours per week at max. Like you won't be working more than that, 30 hours per week.
yeah, I mean, you can handle a part-time job, a college, as well as this parallelly. It's not going to be such hectic.
Summer of Bitcoin.
Last year, there was like one person from our IIT Roorkee like who got graduated and he participated in Summer of Bitcoin. So yeah, if you are even in the 4th year and like getting graduated, you can participate.
Yeah, but no, this time it's only limited to university students, not somebody who went out, I guess.
Yeah, but if you are in the university, like the program is from May to like 2 months from May. So yeah, you can apply from when you are in university.
At the time of applying, I think you're supposed to be in a university.
University, yeah.
Yes, yes.
Okay, cool.
See, I tell you my thing. So I was preparing for GSOC before Summer of Bitcoin, and to be very honest, I was procrastinating and not contributing to the projects. And I was like, "Ki, I'll do it next year." And then two of my friends also started with me, and they had equal knowledge what I had, and they made it. So, and that's why I applied to Summer of Bitcoin because after they going through GSOC, I realized that I should at least apply. Then only I'll get to know if I get in or not. So I would say you should apply. Even if you don't get through, you will get experience. If you give the first test, you will know what kind of question they'll be asking. So I would say just apply.
Okay, sir.
So for how much time you practiced coding before applying?
Mm, for me, I was into competitive programming before this, so I used to solve CSES problems, code forces ladders, and I used to give contest on that. But honestly speaking, you don't need very deep knowledge about CP. They'll be just testing your basic coding skills, if you can code or not, and if you know one language properly and data structures in that language. There won't be
I
any obscure trick questions. It was specifically mentioned in one of our meetings.
I would also like to take this question because I did not do CP. I really did not do any form of coding in general, DSA in general. I mean, my code forces ranking was what 1100. So, I just liked solving some algorithms that were kind of taught in college itself, and some other algorithms which sometimes friends shared. But I did not do hardcore competitive programming. But yeah, I still made it. I did not take help, but yeah.
Yeah, so
If
till
your
when can
basics
we?
are if your basics are clear, I mean, you will easily get in.
Week, but you, yeah, I guess I got it within a week.
But this year, like this, they will be like creating groups, like they will be so uh, hopefully like the first group will get into the Discord by next week, and the next group will be like after 2 weeks or so. So like if you are applying this week, I hope you will be get a mail by, if you get selected after the first round, you will get a mail by within 2 weeks.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, sure, you can apply for the both verticals. Whatever you are good at, like you will get into that.
No, no, no. So the first round is that DSA thing, and the second round is that proposal. You will have to submit a proposal. They'll review your proposal, and then they'll announce the result on 5th of April. The Discord server uh, is just for facilitating the students to ask doubts, because some of the people don't know about this thing. So they'll share learning materials, and you can ask doubts on the Discord, and they'll answer it. But if you get in the Discord server, try to be interactive in that. That would, I think, help. It's not written anywhere. It's just my personal opinion.
What a proposal is, you will be, after you will be added to the Discord, they will help you understand Bitcoin. So there will be seminars, there will be lectures, there will be talks on Bitcoin every 1 or 2 day. uh, in between you will be added to projects channel, Discord projects channel. So in those channels, there will be projects proposal, there will be project proposal that was already onto the Discord. So if you have like seen GSOC website, so you can see that what are the projects people have worked so far and what are the upcoming projects. So that's the same thing on the Discord. There will be projects available. Okay, so you just go through the project docs, all those things, and if you then start contributing to the projects. So how I started contributing to the most of the people, and I started contributing to the project is by like increasing the test coverage. So the best way to start your journey in contributing to any Bitcoin open source project is like go to the test library, just read about a particular test, thoroughly read about it, then start adding things to it, like what things it is lacking. So that's how it started. So just start contributing to a particular project you like. After you started contributing that project, you feel like something is missing in this project or something has to be done in this project. So in my case, the thing was, the project that I worked on doesn't support back32m encoding, address encoding format. So I talked this with my mentor, and then we started working on adding back32m encoding support. So that's how my like project thing started. First you start contributing to the project, learn about Bitcoin, and if you find something that has to be done in the project or that has to be done with the project, you just uh, write a proposal, like start writing your proposal. So like they will guide you how to write proposal within like in the seminars and all these things. So yeah, I think that clears your doubt. So thank you guys for joining, and also thank you Sandeepan and Aditya for uh, having this awesome session with you guys. And also thank you audience for being this much awesome and asking lots of question. And even if you have some question that wasn't answered here, do shoot us in the Discord server and we will happily answer there. Okay, so